1988. What a year to be a member of the Christian County Colonels wrestling team.
Yes.
Our guest here today, not only was he a member of that 1988 state championship team, he's also one of Christian County's individual state champions. Sir, if you would, tell us who you are.
My name is Darren Parker. I'm the 1988 152-pound state champion.
And, of course, we have met with so many Christian County guys so far in the review series. Just a phenomenal wrestling program there at Christian County. So I have to ask, the standard question that we start off with here is, how do you get into wrestling in Christian County back in the 80s? What is it that attracts you to the sport?
Well, there was something I saw on TV, and then I was in 7th grade, so I went out, and I figured it'd be good because I used to get in trouble for getting grass stains on my clothes rolling around in the neighborhood. So that kept me out of trouble.
Man, I completely understand. Now, Christian County, not just the high school, but Christian County as a whole, back in the 80s, man, you had Hoptown doing their thing. You guys were doing, your all's thing. So much talent come out of the Christian County as a whole, 80s, 90s. I mean, I would say outside of maybe Louisville, Lexington, they're a lot bigger population than what Hopkinsville, Christian County is. But I would say per capita, the Christian County area, man, they put out more just athletes in every sport, wrestling, football, basketball, you name it.
That is so true.
I ask guys this question, what's in the water down there, man?
I don't know. I think it's just the competitive juices.
I get it. And we've been down to Christian County, Hopkinsville. I think we've made 5 trips in person, and we started doing the videos on Zoom. So many Christian County guys, so many Hopkinsville guys that we've met with. Of course, like we mentioned, Christian County 1988 team state champions. So before we go over Christian County's state champions and all that and your bracket, I believe when you guys did you guys start wrestling back then like we do now in October 15th? Was that correct? Yeah. Was it earlier or later? Do you remember?
That was the first day of practice.
Okay. I'm trying to pinpoint like when stuff kind of changed, and October 15th, there seems to be that magic number that everybody always brings up. So when you guys walk around or go, to the first practice there, and you got Coach Perrin, you look around, you see people like Tom Lee, you see Alvin Byers in the room. I believe you had Cedric Davis on that team, David Donnelly, a couple other guys, Corey Waldington. Do you guys look around and be like, we're the best team in the state this year?
I don't think first off we did.
Okay.
But I think as the season progressed, we because that was the first time I think Christian County had been preseason number 1. And
I mean, I've mentioned it in other videos, but as many times as I've been down to Christian County and Hopkinsville, the guys that I've become friends with, your Livingston Merritt, your Miguels, your Willies, Grady Peterson, Sean Smith, all these guys that I've kind of got to know coming down there, it feels like no matter if you're a red, white, and blue Colonel or a black and orange Tiger, it just seems like one big family. It seems like everybody knows everybody, friends. You guys could be, staying at each other's house, riding places together, hanging out after wrestling practice or whatever. Right. But it has to be a little, like you said, competitive juices flowing. Seeing Hopkinsville win it in 85, win it again in 86, and think, if they can do it twice, we can do it, right?
Right.
And I believe, according to my research, in 1986, Christian County comes in state runner-up to Hopkinsville. 1987, they come in runner-up to Simon Kenton. And then 1988, you guys finally climbed top of the mountain.
Coming in second place, finishing with 101.5 points, Christian County. Ladies and gentlemen, the top team for 1986.
You said a little bit earlier that you guys kind of midway through the year, whenever it was, is there like a specific point in the year when you look around and then you say, okay, this is our year?
I think it was probably maybe halfway through after probably Colonel Classic and maybe Woodford after taking first place in both of those tournaments.
Okay.
And Woodford County always known to be a tough team, very competitive, and then finishing ahead of them twice. And I think we just looked and said, hey, we're in pretty good shape, but we just got to stay focused and we can take it.
And we like to go over the if we have the information, we like to give everybody on that team. 1988 Christian County team, 112 pounds. You had David Donnelly come in fourth place, 119 pounds. Robert Schneider, 125. Barry Lancaster, 130. Tom Lee, which Tom is a two-time state champion, 87 and 88. 135. Arvell Banks. Of course, Arvell's 89 review videos on the channel. 140. Corey Waldington. 145. Alvin Byers. Of course, you at 152, first place. Keith O'Daniel at 160. Cedric Davis at 189. And then Brent Sisk at heavyweight. So you had a pretty solid team. Pretty stacked team. Great coaching there with Coach Perrin. So let's go over your 1988 bracket. And I have to ask you, this bracket, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it has the regional, how you come in the region. And it's got Joe Runyon being the regional champion the week before.
That is correct.
from Hopkinsville. So I guess Joe got you in the region finals, correct?
We battled pretty heavily during the year. We had close match at district. He took it. That's when we had district. Mm-hmm. And then we had a close match at region. I got him earlier in the year, but I always had trouble with Joe and John because both of those were very long wrestlers. Mm. And I had problems with long guys who were both very good, very seasoned.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I get it. And it's crazy that, just how many, over the years, how many regional matches, how many back when districts was a thing, like you said, how many from that region one was a Christian County and a Hopkinsville wrestler going at it.
Oh, yeah.
And did maybe not, well, I guess I can ask both questions. Did Hopkinsville and Christian County ever have like joint practices together or no?
I think the only time we had close to that is when I think the group from Fort Campbell came up when the All-Army team was stationed at Fort Campbell. They did a clinic, but it was still pretty much our guys with our guys and their guys with their guys.
I got you. I was curious about that because, they're right there. I'm not exactly sure how many miles they are apart. It's not many, but still.
It's not at all.
And of course, I think that they're going to be combining, consolidating the schools.
That's the plans right now.
Okay. I last time I was down there, I know that Tony Harris, a couple other guys was talking about it. I didn't know how far it had come along. But 1988, it says you're a senior, 152 pounds. You start off the tournament with a 14-5 major decision over Trent Lucas of Boone County.
Yeah, think about it. The first period, I was on my back that whole.
Was you really?
Yeah, because he threw a headlock and he was fighting to throw me, but I said, okay, I'll roll with him. So instead of getting a good roll and coming out on top, he kind of came down on top of me and he stayed in position. So I was on my back that first period.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you because looking at the score 14-5, you'd think, you kind of cruise to it. But if you was on your back the first period, man, that's pretty good to come back and win by that much.
Yeah.
So you get to the quarters, you wrestle Ron Harris of Fairdale, and you win that by an 11-5 decision. And Ron goes on to get third place this year. So pretty tough wrestler right there.
He was.
And of course, in case you're watching this and you don't know, Fairdale is in Louisville. That's a Louisville area school. Right. You get to the semis, you're wrestling Brian Whalen from Harrison County.
Right.
You win that by 10-2 decision, and you're in the finals, man. Three matches, 3 decision wins. The bracket, and it could be, this was the original hand wrote bracket I got off the KHSAA website, but it says your record coming into the finals is 30-10. Does that sound about right?
That's correct.
Okay, that's good. That's good. And you get to the finals, you're wrestling John Ward from Frankfurt.
Right.
Now, we're not going to tell you the score. We have the face-off, we have the match video, we have the medal ceremony, and we have the Christian County Team Championship Award ceremony. Now, has it been a while since you've seen your finals video?
Oh, yeah, it's been probably over 10 years since I watched it. Yeah.
Well, good, man, good. Of course, we have it. We're gonna pull it up here. We are at Atherton High School in Louisville. Now, for the generation that's probably 30 and under, this is come from what's called a VHS tape that was played on a VCR. It's not 4K quality. It's not even HD 1080p. This is just a shoulder camera that I guess the KHSAA hired to film this. So if the quality isn't what you're used to seeing, that's the way it was back in the 80s, wasn't it?
It was.
All right, man. So we've talked enough about it. Let's get on it.
In the 11th grade with a 34-4 record, John Wired, Frankfurt. Opponent in the 12th grade with a 30-10 record, Darren Parker.
I love your all's old school uniforms, man.
Oh, yeah, everybody liked those.
Those were sharp. Now, here we are. Now, had you wrestled Ward before?
Yes, I had. Unfortunately, I lost to him twice. But the week of state, I kept studying his match and John's match because I was wondering it was too many. I was giving away too many opportunities to score on me, and I was missing opportunities to score on him. And like I said, both of them were long, so I had to change how I did my attacks on him.
I get it.
John was very good at coming off the whistle, attacking first. Whereas some guys in the middleweights, they like to stand and lock up and then work from a lock-up position. He was quick to shoot, so I had to change how I was wrestling.
So you're walking around here on the mat, getting ready to get the final started. What are you thinking right here? Do you remember what's going through your head?
Just game plan. Shoot first, attack, try to wear him down.
I get it, man. So we're here at the line. Right out of the gate, man, you shoot in.
Yeah.
You lift and you go right to him. You take the fight to him.
And that's what I wanted to do because before I'd let him set the pace.
Yeah.
So I needed to set the pace early. But I got out of position. I was good for a while, but that's when I ended up in trouble.
Mm-hmm. And if the crowd here is so loud, I had to turn down the volume on my video because the crowd. You remember the crowd being loud like that?
Yeah, but I was trying to phase them out. And you see, this is where I got out of position.
Yep. Now, we really can't tell on the video here, but about how tall are you?
Right now I'm 5'10" and a half.
Well, let me, how tall were you there? Let me ask you that.
You know, I really couldn't tell you because I had a couple of growth spurts. But I was probably about 5'8", 5'9".
Okay, well, how much taller was
He was-
him than you right there?
He was about close to 6 feet.
Oh,
I
was
think.
he? Okay,
Yeah, I think he was about 6 feet.
I got you. All right, so now you're on the bottom here. All right, so we got a caution. We got a caution. On the bottom, what's your go-to moves here? What are we looking to do? Stand up, get to our feet, or just switch, or what?
I think I might have been looking for a switch or stand up.
Yep.
I think, is this still the first period?
Yeah, this is still the first period. Yep.
But see, this is where he was going for a cradle, and I was trying to break his wrist and trying to rock out. But
Right.
when I thought he would change position, that's when he shifted, and you'll see me go to the right there.
Oh no!
Yeah. But I was remembering one thing: keep one shoulder up.
Yeah. You can see the ref feeling right there for it.
Yeah, that was Coach Winters. He was the ref, the All Army coach.
Nice job not getting pinned there.
Right.
So, and you're
And I
able
think
to
that kind of
reverse
took
it.
a lot out of him because his grip was, he was holding hands, and Coach Perrin always told us to hold at the wrist for a stronger grip.
Right. You know, that if you don't get a move like that and you put all your energy into it, man, that can zap you.
Oh yeah.
All right, so that's the end of the period. You win the toss and you defer,
Right.
and he takes
down.
So on top here, knowing that he's kind of had you in the cradle, had your game plan changed or?
No, just wear him down because
Okay.
I figured if I can ride him the whole period and maybe get a turn here and there, but I didn't get it because I kind of got off to the side. So I just wanted to make sure I stayed in good position. But I think I pretty much rode him tight for the whole period.
I get it.
Yeah, he was a very, very experienced guy. He had qualified for state, I think, 2 years prior to that.
Yeah, and I was going to bring it up later after the match ended, but he's Ward is also the 1989 state champion at
Yeah, he beat Kurt
160 pounds. So he was good.
Yeah, him and Kurt Zinger won the semifinals, and then they won the finals that next year.
Kurt Zinga, we have his 1990 state championship match on the channel from Campbell County. All right, so we got stop in action.
I think it might have been a nosebleed or something.
Or something, maybe an injury time. Do you remember him like saying anything like he's in pain or anything right there?
No.
Now, who's this? Is
really
it Coach Perrin right there?
Yes, that is.
Okay.
Rest in peace, Coach Perrin.
Yep. And what you kind of got a break in the action. What's he telling you?
Really just keep doing good, keep pressure on him. Just I'm wrestling well.
Okay. Kind of gives you a little bit of a breather, but it also gives your opponent a breather. Like you said, if you're trying to wear somebody down and they get a minute and a half of injury time, they can, get their lungs back, get that grip back if they've lost their forearm muscles.
And that's what I was worried about because I thought I was kind of riding him kind of tight and, making him use a lot of energy.
Right.
So now he. But I really tried to keep him flattened down.
Well, you've got his head on the mat. You're working out to the side. Now you've got that arm trapped. I've seen so many Christian County guys do that exact same that 2-on-1 series. Is that something you guys just drilled all the time?
Oh yes, we practice that a lot.
Okay, because just about every coach parent, coached wrestler that I've got video of, that's what they do.
Oh yeah.
All right, so that's the end of the third period, and the score is 5-2. It's your choice. You're tying your shoe.
Right.
And you're going to take down.
Of course, because right now I'm still behind 5-2.
Yep.
Like you said. So I'm trying to get a reversal, get an escape, give him an escape, and getting a takedown so I can even it out.
Yep. And kids watch them, youngsters watch them. It's good to know how to score points because you might be down a certain amount, just like Darren said, and have to know how many points you need to score and give up to tie it up or go ahead. All right, so you get to your feet.
Right.
He's got an arm trapped. You go back down. There it is. Nice job. Look at that. Nice switch right there. Good reversal.
I wasn't going to stay on him long. I was going to look for a turn, but I knew I couldn't waste a lot of time. It was still a lot of time left in the match, so I had to go ahead and give him escape and try to score.
So it's 6-4 now.
Right.
You're fighting off that single leg pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we got a stalemate. We go back to the center of the mat, neutral. And that's something, too, that Christian County and Hopkinsville both had. They had some of the best mat made squads around.
Oh, yeah. People loved our mat mates. They didn't. I remember I was in the locker room one time and they asked if they said, you guys bring your mat mates. You guys could have stayed home. They didn't want us.
Now, he takes another injury time right here.
Right. Now, truth be told, I forgot about this one.
Yeah. And you go over back to Coach Perrin. Knowing that you're down 2 points, is he telling you, hey, let's try, let's do this or let's do that?
I think he knew what I was trying to do. He knew where I was at.
Okay. Looks like they're working on like his knee or maybe a possible cramp or something.
But I could tell he had kind of he wasn't as strong as the match got on. I could tell he was fading.
I got you. Now we go back to the center.
Right. And I'm still behind 2 points.
Yep. Still 6-4. You got to have a takedown. You have to.
Yeah, and he's still coming. And you see, even though he's had injury time, he's still shooting. He's still shooting.
Go, go, go.
I think we end up getting another stalemate.
Yep. Good memory. Good memory.
Yeah, because I remember when I did get in, I had both of his legs. I had to each side, and I wanted them to take him straight back to his back so I could get near fall.
Yep. And there, you get a takedown. And now see, in today's wrestling, if this was today's rules, the match would be over. You would win by default, injury default, because after your third injury timeout, it's over.
Yeah.
So right there, Coach Perrin's talking to you. I can tell you're intently listening. It's tied up.
I tried to take them down twice, and each time they called injury, and I didn't get anything for that.
Yeah. Yep. So I'll have to do some research and figure out when the injury time rule changed, because I know for a fact, because we have it on video in the finals in 1996, a wrestler takes 3 injury timeouts and the match is over. So somewhere between 1988 and 1996, that rule changed. So I need to figure out when it happened.
Yeah, all I knew, we was allowed 2 minutes. That's all I knew.
All right, so the score's tied up. Short time left in the third period. If you let him up, you know you're probably going to end up losing. It's all or nothing, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And look how big that crowd is there. Got 12 seconds left. $12 seconds to go. You can ride him for 12 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Just give it everything you got. There it is. You bring him back down to the mat. And that's the end of the period. So we go to overtime. Now, overtime in 1988 is a whole lot different than what overtime is in 2024.
Right.
I believe you guys, you wrestled a complete, like 3 1-minute periods. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
That was my first overtime match ever.
Well, was it really?
Yeah.
And there he's taking another injury time. I can't get over that it's his 4th injury time, and the match hasn't been stopped yet.
You know, truth be told, I have forgot he had this many injury times. I really did.
Mm-hmm. And he's got to be past. I mean, I don't know John Ward from Frankfurt, but he's got to be past his 2 minutes. Has to be.
Yeah, I remember his coaches trying to stop the match. They were trying to call the match. I do remember that did happen.
And if they stopped it on an injury, you would have won. All right, man, you're ready. You can tell, man. You're stomping your foot. You're back at the line. And we're a whole new ball game. It's overtime. Right there, you get a takedown. Now, in today's wrestling, that's it. The match is over. But you guys had to continue to wrestle.
Right.
I believe with the score now, it's 2-0. I think they got a whole new score on the board, or a whole new set of points.
I think I was working for a tilt, but I never could get back points off of.
Mm-hmm. There it is. Nope, you're right. You're trying it. So about 10 seconds left in the first overtime period, which, like I said, in today's wrestling, the match is over. I mean, you win. All right, so that's the end of the first overtime period.
And Coach Winters kept asking him if he could continue. I do remember that much.
All right, he motions, he's taken down. Or no, I'm sorry. You're going down here first.
Yeah, I had to switch off the bottom.
There it is. Ooh, up. And they got him for locking hands.
Right.
So you get a reversal, and then you get the penalty point.
Right. That put
so
me
now
up.
You're up
5-0. Yeah.
And they just caught him for stalling on the bottom.
I think that's where his coaches tried to call it.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, watching how different things are now, as having the actual video instead of just hearing the stories, it's so cool to see just how the sport's evolved.
Man, he was still trying. I mean,
you're bouncing around. You're staying loose, staying agile.
Yep. And
you can tell.
Coach Perrin, he trained us so we could go a full 6 minutes and overtime. That's how we conditioned. And that was my first overtime match, state finals. I'm ahead, so I was just trying to keep the blood flowing because all that standing around, you don't want to get cold.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if you've ever, I should say, if you've never wrestled, you can get once you've been in the sport for a while, what I'm talking about is you can start cooling down just within a few seconds.
Oh, yes.
So, all right, so he's set. And I'm not sure what's going on at the score table.
I think they might have been trying to get the time right.
Okay. Now, I believe in Arvell Banks' video, he said that you guys grew up close to each other. Is that correct?
Yeah, I tried to get him to come out when he was in middle school.
Yeah.
But he kept saying he wanted to wait.
All right, so looks like you've got I can't tell if you were trying to get like a leg Turk there or what, but you pull in another 2-on-1. Take him back down. You're up 6-0, and that's the end of the second overtime period. You got to wrestle one more. And he takes down again.
Right. I think he got hit, maybe another stall call. I think that's how I ended up being 7-0.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was winded. He was real winded, I think.
Yeah, you can tell that. Now there it is. There's the stall call. So you get a penalty point for it.
Yeah, and I was still trying to get. Only thing that was going in my mind: keep trying to score. Keep trying to score.
Right.
Don't try to ride out. Try to just ride the time out.
You can hear the crowd counting it down.
Oh yeah, that was my team. 'Cause I was thinking about winning, and in the back of my mind, I knew it was close between us and Hopkinsville as
Right.
far as who's in first place. And I was like, if I knew if Tom won and I won, then it was ours.
And which we'll talk a little bit here after we get the medal
Coach Brown and Coach
ceremony and
Davis,
everything done. Well, of course, here's the medal ceremony.
right? Yeah, that's Brian Whalen, I think Kurt Zinga, Joe Runyon, Ron Harris. There's John.
Yep. And right here, when you come up, they give you a jacket. Do you
Right.
still have that jacket by chance? Oh my God! That's only the second one that we've been able to find.
Yep, still have it.
You'll have to send me photos of it. That way I can put it in. That way we can have it.
Okay, I'll do that.
That is so awesome that you have that.
Yep.
Because the only other one we've been able to find is the heavyweight from Fern Creek, Woodford.
Woodford.
He had his, and
Right.
I couldn't believe it. Here
Yeah,
comes.
it was a 25th anniversary.
Yep, and here comes you guys carrying Coach Perrin, and there's the mat maids we was talking about earlier. I think there's more mat maids than there are wrestlers.
Just about. Just about. That was a great night.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Tom became our first two-time, and we got our first state championship.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it seems to be the only one for Christian County
Yep.
Colonels. So,
That's right. That's the only wrestling team state champion. They've been close a few times. We'll talk about it here whenever we get done with this. But it's got to be cool, sitting there with your teammates,
oh yeah,
knowing that the final team score this year was Hopkinsville accumulated 99 team points, and you guys accumulated 109. So you beat them by 10 points.
yeah. That's only like 2 matches, I believe.
I believe you're right about it. Let's see that jacket one more time.
Oh,
That way we can get. Oh yeah, look at that right there. Yeah, you'll definitely have to send me some photos so I can add it in, man. That is so cool that you have that, and it looks to be in good shape too, man.
oh yeah. I had to hide it a couple times.
Because we've got video, like we've got 38 years of the state finals, 38 of the 61 years, and 1988 and 1989 are the only years that they handed out those jackets. And we done video with Dave Barnes from Simon Kenton's Most Outstanding. His jacket got deteriorated. Jerry Trice from Hopkinsville, both of his jackets got burned up in a house fire. Willie Ennels from Hopkinsville, his 89 jacket got burned up, and other people's jackets, they've been lost or deteriorated. So we know there's only 26 in existence, and I'm so glad that you've got yours. That's cool. I'm glad that you have that. But let's talk real quick, though, about how dominant Christian County as a whole was in the state finals in 1988. 119 pounds, Fort Campbell, Geo Hyatt wins the state championship. Tom Lee from Christian County, 130. Pat Moody at 140, Fort Campbell state champion. Jared Trice from Hopkinsville, 145 state champion. Of course, you at 152 state champion. And then rest in peace to Troy Bailey from Hopkinsville, 160 state. So the 145, 152, and 160 was all, you guys.
Right.
What was it, 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of the 13 state champions come from Christian County, man. That's incredible.
Oh yes.
So when you guys get back to school on Monday from the state tournament, does the school do anything for like an assembly or anything like that? Or
Yeah. We did have an assembly that Monday.
Okay,
And
that's cool. I didn't know. I like to find the information out. Did they like escort you in like on a fire truck or anything like that, or police escort or?
that happened when we came back to town Sunday. We got met at the city limits, and we got a police escort into town.
That is so cool, man.
Yeah.
That is so neat that the community rallied around you guys like that.
Oh yeah, people were coming out of businesses and just waving, and it had been on the radio, and so a lot of people were very, very happy to hear
Yeah.
that we won.
And like we said earlier about the youngsters watching it and finding out what a VCR or VHS tape is, we always didn't used to have one of these in our pocket to where you could, FaceTime or post on Facebook or Snapchat or TikTok or whatever. Is sometimes the information didn't travel very fast, and you had to go to these things called payphones or find like a landline somewhere and call people, and that's how information got back. It wasn't just so instant. So it was cool that the Christian County faithful, the students and all that knew what was going on. Back to the match real quick. Excellent performance. I mean, you had to deal with the game plan of wearing him down, and then he took 5 injury timeouts, had to go into the overtime period, which was your first overtime match of your entire career. So sometimes you never know how you're going to win in a wrestling match, and you had to grind one out. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And excellent performance, great coaching, great conditioning, because having to go through all that and keep your mental clarity, keep your body, like you said, you were bouncing around trying to keep yourself loose. A lot can happen there.
Yeah, Coach Fran always told us it's mostly mental than physical.
Absolutely, man, absolutely. So Darren, man, we've covered a lot of ground. We've talked about a lot of things. Before we end this, do you have anything you'd like to add or say or anything like that to add to the video?
Well, I'd like to thank you for having me, and to the kids that's still on the mat, I hope they enjoy it and enjoy it while you can do it. Once you get my age, it's just a memory. You look at the videotape and you don't even believe that you were able to do it, but just enjoy it while you can.
And I think that's a good piece of advice. We know a lot of kids, we've had coaches tell us that they've set their teams down and they've watched some of the matches, some of the review videos of like your Dominic Blacks from Henry Clay, 1987, some of the more like your Austin Myers, your Jacob Mertens that's come through the state and competed in it. National level collegiately, about how smooth they were. This is how you run a half Nelson. This is how you do that. So I agree. Kids, just have fun with it. It's a grind, but have fun.
Oh yeah,
have fun. It's something that you'll look back on and say, I'm so glad I was a member of the wrestling team. I'm so glad that I done this or done that. And once those magical 4 years of high school are gone, they're gone forever. And
that's true.
That's what we say about this series is after we leave high school, we go on, whether it's starting a family, starting a career, going to the military, however life takes you. And we don't always go around wearing our Letterman jackets or rings or state championship medals or whatever. But if somebody asks you, what made you into the person you are today? What can you look back on and say shaped your life? You can say, I was a state champion wrestler. I was on a state championship team. I know what my best is. My best is I know I can be an individual state champion and then lead my team as a senior to be our only team state champion of wrestling in our school history. I know what my best is. So, yeah, I'm glad to say that wrestling shaped my life. I'm glad to say that I still use motivational sayings or whatever it was that Coach Perrin told you guys, or however he coached you guys, that yes, all these years later, I still use lessons I got from wrestling, and I'm proud of it.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. Well, Darren, man, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. It's going to be a great video. I'm sure the Christian County crowd's going to be happy to see this. And instead of just seeing the photo there in the trophy case in Christian County, now people can actually see the match and put mat time with that photo that's been in there for so long. And
Oh, yeah.
man, it's great that we're able to do this. But thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys and girls on the mats.